If you haven't been paying attention for the past year or so, or if you just came out of a coma, you already know that CBD is what's hot in the streets these days when it comes to treating a wide variety of ailments like chronic pain, the inability to sleep, and the crippling anxiety that comes with dealing with human existence in the 21st century. There are no shortages of places to pick up CBD, but as someone who has trouble trusting the product sold at my local smoothie shop, I found myself turning to CBD.com for most of my needs. CBD.com was founded by some established entrepreneurs who set out to create what they've dubbed the Amazon of CBD. CBD.com offers a ton of products from a wide range of brands that help with a variety of benefits. Head to CBD.com to see for yourself. That's CBDEE.com for all your CBD needs. And now, back to Oh Yeah, the Entourage podcast.
What I got, and it's kind of non-negotiable. All right, so if you think you can make it work, I'm in for letting you do it how you want to. All right, so what do you think?
I think this movie needs a director with a vision and a guy that knows how to stretch a dollar.
Walsh.
A beautiful sight. We're happy tonight, walking in an Entourage wonderland. Welcome back, everybody, to Oh Yeah, the Entourage podcast. I am your host, J.R. Hickey, coming to you from San Francisco, California. We did it. Season 3A and 3B are in the books. 20 episodes of Entourage, 5 months of this podcast, incredible episodes, incredible guests, a lot of white guys. Let's just be honest. A lot of white guys like the show. A lot of white guys want to talk about the show. We are at the 10-yard line on 2019. This week's episode, guys, was one of my favorite episodes we've ever done. I say that a lot, but I'm not bullshitting you. Billy Breed, our guest this week, is a working actor in Hollywood. And by that, I mean he was in the Academy Award-winning film The Green Book just last year. He shared the screen with Mahershala Ali, Viggo Mortensen. He had some great behind-the-scene insights into Vinny Chase, into how a movie gets made. He told stories about being on set of Green Book, told stories about an incredible run-in he had with Shia LaBeouf. The guy's fucking hysterical. He's super talented. 20-something Entertainment is a popular comedy group and Instagram account that he runs. I can't say enough great things about him. I really hope to have him back. I think you're going to love this conversation. Now, I know I said I wanted to take some time off at the end of the year here, and I'm planning on doing that. But we're a few weeks out from the Christmas holidays, so I have a couple special episodes of the show lined up. Next week, we are bringing it back. Voice memos. I want to do another episode, an end of the season voice memo episode. If you missed it, about 8 or 9 episodes ago, in between seasons 3A and 3B, I had you, the listeners, DM me voice memos on the Oh Yeah Pod Instagram account, and we had kind of like a cool call-in episode. I want to do that again. I feel like we had a lot left to talk about, so here's what you guys need to do. First, go follow the Oh Yeah Pod Instagram account. Second, go to your direct messages. Send me a direct message via voice memo. So all you do is you hold down that microphone button in the bottom right corner, record a message to me, send it along. You guys have 3 days to do this. This episode drops Monday morning. I'm gathering all these together Wednesday night. And the following Monday, we'll have another one of our awesome call-in episodes. Ask me about whatever you want. We can talk about Entourage. You can offer theories. You can give your opinions. You can ask me personal questions. I'll do my best to sit down for an hour and entertain you like I always do. Be on the lookout for some content I'm creating for Bro Bible in the next coming weeks. I can't give any information out about it right now, but in the coming weeks, I have a pretty cool interview dropping with a pretty huge American culinary personality. I'm going to leave it at that. It is not Entourage related. It is strictly just for the website and for fans of his. We've got so much awesome shit planned for 2020, guys. I cannot wait to dive into it. I know you're going to love this episode with Billy Breed. Don't forget to get me those voice memos. Enjoy the holiday parties everyone's hopefully been going to. I hope that professionally, your companies, your bosses, everyone is just taking a knee to run out the clock on the end of the year, so your personal lives are filled with drinking, eating, merriment, and entourage. Enjoy the Season 3B finale, Episode 8, Adios, Amigos. with Billy Breed. My guest this week is one of the comedic minds behind the popular comedy group 20SomethingComedy. He acted alongside Mahershala Ali and Viggo Mortensen in the Academy Award-winning film Green Book, and he starred in the upcoming Netflix animated series The Liberator. Dialing in from Southern California, Billy Breed. Welcome to the Entourage podcast.
Bro, you had my shit on lock there, dog. I did not know you were going to know all that about me. That was pretty tight.
Dude, I like to gas up the desk because, I mean, we're talking about Entourage here. Entourage is all about gassing each other up. Like,
Bro, you went in with a gas, but you led with the sketch comedy group, which was probably my favorite part about that. You led with the sketch comedy group where we have about 10,000 followers on Instagram, and then followed it up with the Green Book appearance.
the Academy Award winner for Best Picture. That was second.
Yeah, well, collectively, I've had about 10,000 more lines in the sketch comedy group than I did in at all in Green Book. So, yeah, I was just saying those 6 lines really changed the pace of the film.
Dude, I'm super pumped. You are a working actor in Hollywood. You're a comedian. This is the ideal guest to have on to talk about this show. What was your experience like with Entourage growing up, Billy? Did it inspire you in any way?
I mean, I'm an actor. It fucking changed my whole goddamn life, I guess. I mean, I think everyone who grew up watching that show was like, oh yeah, I'm Vinny Chase. The hardest part now is that I actually went and chased the dream, and I realized I'm not Vinny Chase. I'm more fucking Billy Walsh or Drama, which is just the saddest part about it.
Drama gets his eventually, but when did you first start watching the show? Did it come to you in college? Did you see it all the way through? Did you see the movie?
I went to boarding school, actually. So I started watching it at boarding school because there's fuck all to do. So I went to school in upstate Connecticut in a place called Wallingford. And when I say I went to boarding school, I meant my parents sent me away because I was a fucking shithead. And because there's literally nothing else to do there. I think I started watching it. I don't know when it came out, but I'm 28 now, and I graduated high school, I guess, in 2010. So I must start watching it in 2006.
Yeah, it came out in 2004, so you were probably two and a half seasons in at that point.
Yeah. When I think I was a freshman in high school when I started watching it, and you just crush that show. I mean, they're like 30-minute episodes, 25-minute episodes, and they give you like 9 episodes a season.
I know.
Like, that's insane. Now you have shows that are like an hour 15 long episode, and they'll hit you with like 15 episodes.
It was like a bag of popcorn that just wasn't big enough, right? You just eat it and you went, oh, I want some more. It's not
Bro,
there.
they hit you with like, they were doing the bare minimum. Like Doug Ellen and all those guys, and Wahlberg and his people and Levinson, those guys, like, they were doing, I think they probably wrote these episodes in like a couple weekends. Like, they just got together, had a couple beers, smoked some weed, wrote the show, and made themselves tens of millions of dollars.
We talked a lot about the writing decisions of this show on this podcast. I'm super pumped to dive into this week's episode, Adios, Amigos. There's a ton happening in this episode. Let's just dive in. What do you say?
Yeah, fuck it. Let's do it.
Every week before we get into the episode, categories, I talked about something that was happening during that time when that episode was released. So this episode aired on Sunday, June 3rd, 2007. This is the finale of season 3B. This is the second half of season 3, split in half by the writer's strike. It's a very long season.
I heard you say that on another episode. I did my homework, and I heard you say that it was the writer's strike. I didn't know that.
Billy, I appreciate your listenership. That's important to me.
Yeah, dude, tune in, man. I'm not only a fan. I'm on it as a participant, but I'm also a fan, which is big time.
I fucking love it. So, since this was the last episode of the season, just a few weeks later, the first generation of the Apple iPhone was released in the U.S.
Get out of here.
Price point, $500 for a 4 gigabyte model. 4 gigabytes now is like a movie and a half on your phone.
Dude, 4 gigs was the first model, and people were going bananas for it.
Oh, I have all the space in the world. I never am going to run out of space with 4 gigabytes.
Dude, 4 gigs, people were going bananas. I have 256 gigs on my iPhone right now.
Same here. Thousands of people reportedly waited outside Apple and AT&T stores. Many stores reported shortages within an hour of availability. A year later, just like 13 months later, the iPhone was discontinued. The first version of the iPhone was discontinued. Total sales came out to 7 million units.
That's it?
7 million, but like do the math on that. 7 million times
$500.
$500 or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if it was 1,000 phones, it'd be $1 billion. So it's $500 million
Yeah.
or whatever it is, right? What was that? It's so funny that you say people were waiting. I always had this idea. I had a friend in college, and we always used to, like, if we were to ever go homeless, how would we make money? And one of the ideas we always had was standing in line for iPhones and then selling our spots.
That's smart. People do that.
That's what I thought too. Like, if homeless people are watching this, take the idea and make some cash.
Yeah, it's an audio only podcast, but if you're listening out there in the cold right now, somewhere in America,
if you're listening, like that's a great idea. That's so funny. Like anytime anyone ever speaks about like standing in line for iPhones, I always think about that.
Yeah, people still do that shit too, which is like it's like a pride thing, right? Being the first.
Dude, beyond that is how about the people that like go to when Steve Jobs, I guess it was different with Steve Jobs, but now you like go watch Tim Cook reveal the new Apple Watch. Like, who goes to the fucking auditorium to see that?
Well, I live in San Francisco, and I worked in the tech scene in Silicon Valley for a while. I'll tell you, a bunch of tech nerds do, and it's like their Super Bowl.
I thought you were about to say, I'm about to tell you, I did it.
So fuck you. No.
I was like, oh shit.
Quick episode recap before we dive in. So, Vince's buddies hound him for declining Prince Yair's indecent proposal to fund Medellin. E moves in with Sloan despite his friend's warning against planting a flag, while Turtle and Drama kick off their apartment hunt with a studio slum. A call from Shauna forbids Drama to taint his brother's image, sends the pair to a $1.4 million condo that through the sly art and negotiation, Drama buys for $1.5 million. Nicky Rubenstein decides to finance the flick with his freshly released trust fund. Too bad he's offering less than half of what the studios estimate the budget, and in a stroke of genius, E taps Billy Walsh to direct Medellin on a shoestring budget. As the crew pours champagne to celebrate E's first production, Walsh calls to drop the inevitable bomb. He plans to shoot the entire film in Spanish. Billy, what was your favorite moment from this week's episode of Entourage?
Wait, did you get that off of Wikipedia, or do you write that yourself?
Secret. Yeah, I actually had someone reach out to me and go, "Hey, man, you put a lot of effort into the episode write-ups. Do you need help with it?"
Oh, it's beautifully written.
Yeah, it's on the HBO website. I hate to like.
I knew it, man. That was just so. And you read it with such great timing. I mean, it was fantastic. You told me before you do a little radio work. So.
Yeah, I do radio work. I'm a writer professionally, so I could have technically taken credit for that, but I'm not going to do it. Some poor writer at HBO in 2007 wrote that, and it's up on the website. So,
well, some poor writer in HBO really fucked up because I think you said that Drama's sly negotiating skills, which is not the case at all.
I think it's supposed to be sarcastic, right? Like he's a fucking moron. Let's get into it.
It's just it's the HBO, someone's assistant that had given like you're writing. Season 3B's Adios Amigos quick recap for the HBO website, and that writer's just having a little chuckle to himself, like sly negotiating skills. Ha ha ha.
little wink and a nod.
There's a wink and a nod to the. I guess there's probably a couple million people that read that.
I would hope so.
I'm not a reader. I'm a watcher. My favorite moment when Billy Walsh when Vinny and E go to get Billy Walsh to convince him to shoot Medellin, and before he knows it's Medellin, and they go sit outside, and he's telling them all that he's not doing it and that he's happy. He shot one scene of a porno and got a 25 picture deal.
Hey, come on, Billy. What do you say? You want to make a movie?
I'm making movies, Vince. My way.
Your way? They're calling you Wally in there.
Yeah, what's that all about?
Wally Balls, it's my alias. It's catchy, ain't it? And they gave me a 25-picture deal after seeing me shoot only one scene. Billy Walsh is gonna bring the 1970s type class back to porn. And the wide bush.
Well, we got a real movie here, Billy. You're gonna love it.
It's right up your alley.
Suit, you got no fucking idea what my alley is. I never made movies for money, and I never made movies to please anybody but myself. And Vince, as great as it was to make QB, the pain of having it ripped away from me and fucking butchered was just too much to bear. Now look, I really appreciate you coming down here, but I'm sorry.
My favorite part is as he's doing that whole monologue and he's talking about the 25 picture deal and he's bringing back the elegance of 70s porn back to the forefront. There's just this couple behind him in the background just fucking in the deep end of the pool. And I think it's like, as I was watching it, I was wondering, like, is the guy a fluffer or is she the fluffer for the guy getting warmed up for the scene? Like, there's no cameras around because the director's talking to these two people. So I was so confused. Are they just like, which is probably more believable, Billy Walsh just runs a set of just like free fucking and please just fuck at all times. Like, and she could just be like the craft service girl and just like wanted to go for a go. Like I found that so hilarious.
What I thought was hilarious about just the whole porn scene was, why is everybody naked? Like, how many people is he shooting, and why are they all naked the entire time?
It had to be a gangbang scene, like later on in the show.
Yeah.
Or like what I was wondering too, like, is the lighting guy just sitting there with his cock out, just like, you know what I mean? Or the sound guy just like, fuck it, everyone's naked, screw it, let's do it.
From what I understand about porn sets, and I've never been on one, but from what I understand, they're kind of not gross places, but like they're not like sexy places to be, because they're like, the lights are hot, there's smells and liquids all over everything. Like, obviously this is fucking Entourage, it's an idealized version of this, but like, I'm sure when I was 20 and I saw this, I was like, oh man, I'd love to be on a porn set. But
yeah, you'd love to be on a porn set until they ask you to like strip down and saddle up. And then you're like, well, it's kind of cold in here and I wasn't really ready for this.
A lot of people watching me.
Yeah, there's a lot of eyes around. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. I've had this conversation with friends of mine before. They think that they wouldn't be able to come. I think it would be like, which is always my issue, which is, 10 seconds and then you're patting them on the back saying like the next one's for you. Like that one was for me, but the next one I promise will be for you.
Yeah, clean out the pipes really quick.
Yeah. Just give me 10 more minutes or 15.
My favorite moment. It's not really like, oh, this was my favorite moment. It just made me laugh out loud because this is, Billy, I do this every week. I've broken down at this point 43 episodes of the show. This is like the 5th time that Vince and the boys have stared out at the Los Angeles skyline.
Come here. Come out here. Look out at those lights. This is our city. Come on, it's all gonna work out. The universe always had a plan.
Yeah, look at these lights. This is our city.
It's gonna work out. The universe has a plan. This was like the most flagrantly offensive, like Vince not giving a fuck thing, and I just laughed at like how ridiculous it was.
He doesn't give a fuck. Like he just has the coolest mentality of, and I've been around a lot of actors, and he just is unlike any actor I've ever seen. Most actors are always like they're drinking, they're finding some sort of way to cope with this trauma that follows you throughout this career, which is all rejection or 90% rejection. He's like Leo now. Like Leo couldn't do anything wrong now.
Yeah.
And that's Vinny's mentality. Just like, look at this city, man. Like this is our city, bro. We're going to kill it.
They've done it on the beach. They've done it at Jessica Alba's house. They've done it on many a hotel rooftop where they're surrounded by beautiful women and they're like, come here. we gotta have a talk.
You think like by this time, like Turtle or someone would be like, Vince, like, we get it. We get it, bro. Like, it's our city. We've done this 4 times now. I get it, man. Like, it's going to work out.
Vince breaks the news. He's like, we got the money. We're making Medellin. And Turtle screams out into the courtyard, Vinny Chase is back, baby.
We got the money. We're making Medellin.
For real this time?
For real.
Vinny Chase is back, baby!
Was he gone? Like, did he? Like, he was literally in Aquaman 8 episodes ago.
Aquaman had just crushed the 8-legged bug. Like it's the highest grossing movie of all time. Like, he's back, baby. Let's go. This city's ours. One more freaking time. We're gonna light this place up. You're like, what? What the fuck are you talking about? He just did a James Cameron movie, bro. Like, it'd make more sense if I was with my friends and I was like, yo, I just landed a Netflix show, and they're like, yo, Billy Bree's back, baby. He's here.
So every week, Billy, we talk about bros being bros moments. And now this podcast is sponsored by BroBible.com. You've done some work with us in the past. This isn't really the like standard definition of bro. I'm just kind of referring to moments of male camaraderie. And boy, does this episode have some moments. Start me off with one.
I would say there's so many throughout the episode, but the one that resonated with me the most is when they say goodbye to the house.
Hey, guys. The house. Get over here. Say goodbye.
Goodbye, house.
Summer days spent walking around.
Oh yeah, Yeah, I like that a lot.
In the very beginning, because I think every single person that's ever lived with people in college, like off campus or something, in a house or a fraternity house or a sports house or whatever, like when you move out, you say goodbye to your house. And I remember like so vividly. It was me and 3 other guys, so there was 4 of us in our senior house. And when we moved out, we had graduated, and it was time to go. It was like this red brick house in Richmond, Virginia. Shout out the Spiders. This is where I went to school. We all sat there and, cracked open I want to say a 6-pack, but I know we're all degenerate alcoholics, so I'm sure it was a 30 rack. We just sat there and drank and said goodbye to the house, reminisced on some stories. We signed some of the bricks. I mean, we ended up getting charged a lot, but fuck it. But
yeah, that's security deposit.
But I feel like so many guys have done that, like just saying goodbye to something that they spent a lot of time, made a lot of memories in.
That's a very male thought, to be like, this house is part of the family, or like one of us, kind of, You shared a beer with that house, technically.
Yeah, guys, I guess, are the only ones that will do that. They'll say goodbye to some piece of shit rotting from the inside house. Girls are like, get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah, but then guys will just like not respond to a girl for 6 months. Just be like, we're good.
Yeah,
we're good.
She's like, where were you all day? You were supposed to pick me up. It was our anniversary. He's like, I had to say goodbye to our house. All right, then can't you understand the dilemma here? Can't you understand where I was at? I'm not living in this fraternity house anymore. Stop being so selfish.
It was corny, but it made me smile because I was like, yes, absolutely, that's what you do. It made sense to me in a weird way.
I thought it was awesome. I actually it was very corny, but I had done it, and maybe I'm just a dramatic cornball, but.
So mine is, so they like make a big point of like, ooh, E's letting down Sloane, and she's slowly not okay with it, but it's more like, I enjoyed watching Drama Turtle and Vince get really uncomfortable while Sloane and E were like, "Oh, baby, are you sure? You should tell." Doing that like weird couple talk that couples do.
He wants us at his office now. Let's go.
Right now?
Now.
No, go, baby. It's fine.
You sure?
Yeah, of course I am. This is huge.
Okay. I'll make it up to you tonight with a nice dinner, okay?
I liked Drama just like reacting afterwards and being like,
did you see the look on Sloane's face when E had to cancel their special lunch?
It was fucking hysterical. Like, that's what you do in those situations. You give your buddy a hard time about being like in a relationship, even if you're all in relationships.
Yeah, but that, like, I'm so glad you brought it up because that part drives me bananas. It drives me fucking crazy. Sloane is one of the hottest chicks maybe on the planet.
Yeah.
Like, and these are like Turtle, who could arguably still be a virgin in the show at that point if it wasn't for Vince. Drama, who's a 50-year-old man. He's closer to senior citizenship than he is to finding a girlfriend. And Vinny, who just obviously is not going to settle down because he's Vinny Chase. He can, he can fuck anybody he wants. Like them judging E for taking his time and landing just a hard 10. Like a hard 10. She is so attractive. She's got a great head on her shoulders. Her dad comes from some capital. You know what I mean? She's she's low. She's got it all. If my buddy was with a girl like that, I'd give him shit, but it would just be out of just jealousy. Just like a burning jealousy inside of me.
Yeah, that might be it. I don't think any of those 3 guys are jealous of him. I just think there's this weird, like, they have this weird detachment disorder with each other where, like, they can't stand to be apart for any part of any episode of Entourage.
Yeah, they can't face life without all 4 of them.
Yeah, I want to talk about Sloane. Well, I'm going to save it for another category. Last bros being bros moment. I think you'll identify with this a little bit as like I did. So they did the check from Nicky Rubenstein, and they're just kind of staring at each other. And E's like, "Did he sign it?" And Vince goes, "Yep, $30 million." And E goes, "Did this just fucking happen?" And Vince goes, "Sake bombs." It's like a commercial.
That should be a sake bomb commercial. That should be a commercial for Benihana or some place where you can like eat sushi and do sake. Because you're 100% right. That's incredible. What a way to celebrate raising $30 million.
By doing essentially nothing, just asking nicely.
Yeah. Like, can we did we actually just get that? Yeah, you got it. Yeah. Sake bombs. There's only one thing we can do here. Sake bomb.
Did he sign it?
Yeah. 30 million.
Make it out to cash? I'll check, all right? Did this just fucking happen?
It fucking happened.
Sake bombs.
Sake bombs.
Bogota, baby.
Really quick, you'll appreciate this. So I saw some behind-the-scenes featurette about this episode a long time ago, so I'm sure someone listening has seen it more recently than me, but they filmed this scene in the dark, I think, I don't know what restaurant that was supposed to be in LA, but they filmed that scene at like 6 a.m. So like you're just picturing these dudes and they're so tired. Piven's probably like had one too many the night before, and like they're just like I'm just picturing like how hard that must be as an actor to pretend like you've been like at a dinner and you're really just rolled out of bed. Can you talk to me a little bit about that? What's that like, getting in that mindset of like I'm in a completely different time of day?
Yeah. Well, normally like the 6 a.m.ers, you have to be on set at like 4 for makeup and costume, or even 3. So some guys will just like pop an Adderall or drink a fuckload of coffee and just keep it moving.
Yeah, that made sense.
And I mean, now that you say that, I didn't know they shot that at 6, but that moment when Rubenstein sits back, he just goes, fuck it, writes the 30 minutes. I'm sure that was as real emotion as you could possibly get. I'm sure it was just like, fuck it, I'm so done with this scene. But yeah, I mean, when I was on, not to toot my own horn, but when I was on Green Book, that little movie that won the Oscar, have
you heard of it?
That rain scene that we were in, it was supposed to be a night scene when I pull up on Viggo and Mahershala and arrest them in the middle of Georgia, in the middle of pouring rainstorm. That was in Emmett City, Louisiana at 4 a.m, and it was snowing earlier in the day.
What?
Yeah, it had snowed like 3 inches earlier in the day, so they had to clear all the snow out so you couldn't see it on camera. And then they had this massive rain machine that was pumping out, that was creating our own rainstorm, and it was, but it was so fucking cold it felt like hail. And it was, and the water, they didn't even heat the water. So the water was so cold.
That was my question. Like, do they ever heat the water in those rain scenes? They have to for some movies.
I mean, maybe for Leo or like Brad Pitt. I can tell you for Billy Breed, they were like, fuck you. You can freeze. The only good news is and you have to shoot the thing. We shot that maybe 30 times. I mean, we started shooting that at like 3 or 4 in the morning, and we wrapped at 7 o'clock in the morning when the light was just coming up. So it was like 4 hours we shot that, and it was probably, I don't know, a minute scene in the movie, minute 90 seconds, something like that. So yeah, and you got to shoot it 40 fucking times, so I'm getting wetter and wetter and wetter and wetter and more cold. The only good news is after it all, you have like 5 to 10 people running up to you and like asking if you're okay and making sure, grabbing you food and coffee, putting blankets on you and towels, and so you feel like the King Henry VIII. Like you just feel like you are the king of the castle. But yeah, I mean, even that little dinner scene, I'm sure they shot that from about 6 to 8 or 9 in the morning, just 100 fucking times.
Yeah, I think they bang out an episode a week, so you got to think if there was like a total of like 15 scenes in this episode or 12 scenes, they're probably doing 2-3 scenes a day. Yeah,
they're probably shooting. I mean, they're probably shooting 25 pages, and they're doing it in a week. So if they do it in 7 days at 25 pages, it's 3.5 pages a day. And you're shooting 12-hour days, so that's about 4 hours a page, 3.5 hours a page. I mean, that scene was probably a page, so that's probably 3.5 hours. I mean, that's a lot.
And for listeners who might not be familiar, what page he's referring to are pages of a script, and a page usually equates to about a minute of on-screen dialogue and or action.
Yeah. Sorry, I should have clarified that.
It's all good, dude. So what was let's get back to the episode. What was your least favorite moment from this week's episode?
My least favorite moment. Well, you just said it's your favorite bros being bros moment, but I went on a little rant. It's them breaking E's balls for moving him to Sloan again. Sloan is just an absolute rocket, and I just think you need to hang on to something like that. Not necessarily move in, but I mean, if the option's there, why wouldn't you want to wake up next to that? I mean, she's an absolute rocket ship. But my other one, which we kind of briefly talked about, was just like Vinny Chase's mentality and behavior. Like I as an actor and a mentally unstable human being, I just can't. His like even keeled like coolness drives me crazy because there's so many ups and downs. I mean, fuck, I had an audition for Chicago PD earlier in the week and I didn't get that, and fuck that shit. But you're like, you get so hopeful and then it gets taken away, and then you get so hopeful and then it gets taken away, and then even when you're on set and you're shooting things, you're all jacked up, but things are changing and moving all the time. It's a lot of like trying to be like rubber. And I guess like now that I'm saying it, his mentality is probably the best way to survive in this business, but
it's super unrealistic.
You just go crazy.
It's unrealistic.
Yeah, it feels so unrealistic. Like Billy Walsh is way more how people are. You're just like, fuck, no, my whole life is ruined. Oh my God, I'm going to shoot the whole fucking thing in Spanish. I love Final Cut. Go fuck yourself. Like it's, that whole even keeled thing. It just, I just can't, I can't wrap my head around it because I'm so far removed from it.
It's also a common criticism of both the show and the character. We'll just kind of leave it at that. My least favorite moment is kind of the way Sloane is utilized in this episode. She immediately becomes like this clingy girlfriend who's like, what are we? Don't make me promises. What the hell are we doing with us?
What the hell are we doing?
About what?
About us.
About us?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, what?
The guy said you were going to give me a hard time about staying here.
Oh, so now I'm that girl.
I don't know. Are you?
All right, you know what? I'm not going to fight with you. All right, you've had a stressful day with the movie stuff and the move, so let's just talk tomorrow.
I'm sorry. You're upset. I want to talk now.
Okay. What is your plan? If you go and shoot this movie for 6 months, I want to know what me and all these boxes are waiting for.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I've been so caught up trying to put this movie together. I haven't really thought about it.
Okay, I understand. Can I be honest?
Yeah.
You really need to.
Up until this point, Billy, she'd be in like every 3 episodes and she'd just like show up at a party, show up at a bar, look fucking amazing, and just be like the coolest, most down-to-earth chick on the planet. Very clearly a character written by a bunch of guys.
Yeah, she's a by the way, she's a rocket. She can act any way she wants.
Absolutely. But it was just weird to me that all of a sudden in this episode, she's like, well, what are we? What is it? It was like, well, this is a lot of character for what we've like come to expect from Sloane. And it was just supposed to be this weird moment of tension that like wasn't very believable to me.
Well, she gets villainized so quickly.
So quickly.
Like she's like the cool girl, and then they have to use her as like the villain in this episode. But to the writer's credit, maybe she was just playing like I'm the quote unquote cool girl and waiting for her moment, and her moment came. Like he did move his boxes into her house. I mean, I've known some girls to start jumping to conclusions when something like that happens. I mean, fuck, they kind of have to. The guy's moving in.
Completely agree. It's not outside the realm of possibility for her to be like, okay, so this is getting serious. And then he's like, well, I'm going to cancel 3 dinners on you, then go to Colombia for 6 months. And she's like, whoa. I just think just them kind of having it pop up for 2 or 3 scenes here at the end of this very long season was a little much.
I think it was a little much. Also, like when she's getting mad at him, like when they have the fight, she's like, don't make promises you can't keep. She's unpacking his shit. Like she's like moving his stuff into the house and then being like, hey, like, don't make. Also, he's the one that overreacts. She like made like some like short little comment and he could have been like, all right, I won't. You're right. I'm really busy right now. But he was like, oh no, you're mad. What's going on?
Well, that's E for you. What was your favorite line or quote from this episode?
Oh, it's almost everything drama says at all times, but it has to be in the beginning when they're talking about Vince turning down the $60 million.
Yep.
And he says,
"Well, you should have at least considered it, bro. I know I did when I was similarly propositioned."
Someone offered you money to fuck, Drama?
Yeah, that's right, hater. Viking Quest Convention '99. A guy from Orlando offered me $50 to photograph me banging his wife while wearing my Tarvold costume.
Jesus Christ, what'd you say?
I said no. What the fuck you think I said?
I love how he always dates his specific moments.
Yep.
He's like, oh my God, dude. Like, I think in one of the episodes, he's like, this is back like when I was on Melrose Place in '86, man. Like this, like his knowledge, like the specificity of the knowledge of his career is so incredible. It like makes the character like.
I have an elephant brain, Ken. Do you remember that line?
Yeah, it's like, but it's only for his career, which is so amazing. Like, and not only remember, like he remembers like the specific year, the place they were in Orlando, the amount of money. Like it's so awesome. And then the other line he says is when he says, "Let's go get lunch," and Turtle goes, "Fuck that, are you buying?" And he goes,
Yeah, sure, but no appies. He's not the only one watching his budget.
Yeah, we'll see you guys later.
See ya.
No $12 appies, Turtle. That's where I draw the line.
Actually, at this time when this was made, there were like probably $6 or $8 appies, and he's like, "Fuck it, like I'm done. I'm not doing it."
I'm about to write a $1.3 million check or a percentage of that for a fucking overpriced.
Yeah, for a condo. Like, fuck that.
Yeah.
I love that.
I have a Billy Walsh line that I just fucking love. He has some great lines.
Those are always classic.
So it's...
Give me the script, Suit. I need an hour. Yvette, give me a fluffer in the green room. I got reading to do.
So like dramatic about it, and like he's like such a showman. It's fantastic. I love it.
Well, bro, when he says "get me a fluffer," is he just getting head as he reads the script? Okay, that's what I thought too. My question is, how the fuck do you focus on a script when you're getting a blowjob?
Maybe that's Billy Walsh's process, man.
Dude, that's insanity, man. Like that isn't. I couldn't retain anything when that was happening.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that is fucking crazy that he's able to do that. I love that. That's so funny.
He's iconic. Iconic character. Hey guys, I wanted to quickly talk to you about CBD.com. One of the biggest problems I've come across when trying to track down CBD is that the industry is largely unregulated, and as a result, you never really know what you're going to get. As a result, CBD.com, which is basically the Amazon of CBD, has taken extra precautions to make sure all of the products meet federal guidelines. This means the only anxiety you'll have to deal with is the existential dread you wake up with every morning. And good news, CBD can help take care of that too. So check out the products at CBD.com. That's spelled CBDEE.com. And now, back to Oh Yeah, the Entourage podcast. Kind of a new category this season. Every episode, their guys are giving each other shit, calling each other names. What was the best burn this week?
Well, it's not a specific line of a burn, but it's got to be Vince turning down $60 million to fuck the Shake's wife right off the jump.
Yeah.
The first scene.
Yeah.
$60 million just to have sex with her. Come on, Vince, you could have done it. You've done worse. Worse? What are you talking about? He was ready to do it for free.
You sound like you think I should have done it.
$60 million? I would sleep with anybody on the planet for $60 million.
Yeah.
And he turns down this like very hot woman's wife. Now, granted that he turns her down in the last episode, but they're still talking about it in the beginning of this episode. And that has to be the biggest burn. I mean, he just fucking he turned $60 million. $60 million she offered him to just sleep with her, and he said no. I mean, what that does for your self-confidence and your self-esteem. I can't imagine what she's like now. She's like $60 million, and he wouldn't do it for that. She's just like, fuck, I am so disgusting and ugly. I can't do anything now.
And he sleeps with every other thing with two legs except for her.
Yeah, but by the way, every week she's reading in People magazine that he's banged another girl, and she's like, I offered this fucker $60 million and he wouldn't bang me. Like, this is so fucked. And imagine what she thinks 5 years from now when she reads that he's dating a porn star.
That's true. I didn't even think about that.
She is hanging from a ceiling fan at the end of this. That should have been the spinoff.
Yeah.
They should have done Entourage 2, and they should have just done What Happened to the Sheik's Wife after Vince turned down the $60 million fuck offer.
The Nita Marks diaries. It's like, her like writing in her diary every week. She goes more and more crazy. She ends up murdering her husband.
Yeah, she goes bananas. I mean, she must go bananas. The husband can't please her anymore. He's getting her jewelry and boats and yachts, and she's just like, fuck it. There's no amount of money that's going to help me anymore. It's $60 million, and I couldn't get Vince to fuck me.
That's it, man. That's it. I liked Billy calling Nicky trust fund baby, like to his face, and then like repeating it to his face. Just the balls on the guy. Fucking, it's fantastic.
He has no respect for Suits, which is just so incredible.
Yeah. What do you know about it, mini producer? He's like, Junior Suit, shut up. Let the creatives talk.
Dude, he reminds me of Shia LaBeouf.
A little bit.
Like, I just think Shia LaBeouf is the same way. I think he just fucking hates Suits. And I actually know that because I got into a run-in with him where he almost beat the shit out of me at a gas station.
Now you got to tell that story.
Well, I don't want to. I'll go quickly because I don't want to take away from the episode. But I was going to a charity event, so I was in a suit already and like had combed hair and I had to stop by this random gas station in LA to pick up a thing of deodorant because I forgot to put on deodorant like an idiot. So as I was parked this car came like at 60 miles an hour, came in, like turned, hit the corner, kind of went up on its axis, and then came like almost hit my car and slams on the brakes. So I snap around ready to curse at somebody, and Shia LaBeouf gets out of the car. And I was like, oh, fuck. And Shia is not to be trifled with. I mean, he's a good 6'1", and I'm telling you, he's like 215. He's ripped.
Yeah, he's stocky. Like stocky in a tall way, if that made sense.
Dude, I saw him. I thought he was getting ready to play like a UFC fighter. I mean, This fucker was big. Anyways, we go into the gas station. I run to go get a deodorant. I put it on the counter. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to grab water too. He's going to get a coffee. It's like 11. It's like 9:30 at night, and he's getting a coffee. It's like a double espresso. I'm like, okay, this guy's already out of his mind. And so he comes in to go into line. I'm coming up behind him. I go, yo, you can go in front, even though my stuff was on the counter. He looks at me and goes, yeah, I know. I'm like, okay, fuck.
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, shit. Now I'm standing behind him in the counter, and I remember from some interview I watched a couple years back that he liked red cigarettes. So I try to be cool as shit. And I'm like, yo, I'll get a pack of the reds too, by the way. He like turns and looks at me like, this fucking poser. Anyways, he pays, I pay. I go outside to try and get out, but he's blocking me in, and there's a car in front of me. Now he's not in front of any gas tank. He's just like parked blocking me in. And he's taking photos with these guys that recognize that it's him. So then I shout out quickly like, hey, man, are you going to move your car? Because I'm already a little late to the charity event. He turns and looks at me. He's like, what the fuck did you say to me? Now I'm pissed off because I'm like, you know what? You're not the craziest motherfucker here. So, you know, like if you want to toe-to-toe, let's do it. So I go, are you going to move your fucking car, bro? And he looks at me and he gets in his car and he sends another text and then he stares at me, puts his window down, and doesn't break eye contact with me as he drives in reverse into Sunset Boulevard, which is like the busiest street in LA, drives straight onto the street and drives away. I was like, Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah. Which is a very Billy Walsh thing is what I thought.
Yeah.
He also, Shia also drives a 2012 Dodge minivan, which is...
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, I swear to God. And if in any city you're going to overpay for your car, it's LA, because all you do is spend time in your car and everyone overextends themselves on buying cars. When you're worth $100 million and you're driving around a car that is probably worth $10,000, maybe less, a 2012 Dodge Minivan, you don't give a fuck about anything.
That's like a whole new level of I don't give a fuck.
He doesn't give.
I kind of love it.
I respect the shit out of it. I'm obsessed with Shia. I kind of wanted to get hit in the face just for the story, but
yeah,
it's a very Billy Walsh thing. That's why he reminds me of him.
Dude, that would. I mean, part of you wishes he hit you in the face, right? Like it's like
part of me wishes, yeah. I mean, it's like a couple seconds of pain, maybe
Sure.
a hospital run, but
and
I got
story
insurance
for the rest of your life.
I'm a SAG member. I have insurance. I'll be fine.
Yeah, it's sad on sad crime. Yeah, I got it.
SAG on SAG, baby.
Music. We've had a bad run of episodes with music lately, but I think it comes back this episode. There's some pretty decent ones this week. We have a Spotify playlist in the show notes of today's episodes. If you guys haven't yet, subscribe to that playlist. It's where all of our favorite songs are compiled. Any songs jump out at you, Billy?
I really like the song when they're driving away from the house, but I have to say my favorite song is the end credits Hotel California cover that they do with that like kind of mariachi band.
To Medellin, baby.
Por Medellin, por amistad y por muchos noches colombianas.
¡To Medellín! Por el camino del desierto, el viento me despeina, suave aroma de colita.
Yeah, it's by the Gypsy Kings. It's fantastic. That's my favorite one as well.
I thought that was so awesome. I also love the Eagles, and I love that song, Hotel California, and I just thought it was such a good way to end the episode. I thought it was a
100%. The song when they're driving away from the house is Los Angeles by the Rosewood Thieves.
Bro, I follow the Spotify playlist. I told you this before, and I'm a fan, and I'm on the show, okay? This is a two-headed monster.
Here's the problem, is I have so many fans of this pod who are begging me to be on the show that they're going to go, well, you had that one guy on, he was a fan, and I'm going to be like, yeah, but he's like a working actor and comedian, and that's also why I wanted him on. Like,
all you have to say when they say that is, have you worked with Mahershala Ali and Viggo Mortensen?
Yeah, there you go.
And they say,
exactly what I'm
they say no, and you go, then fuck off.
I think I'm going to start doing that. All right. Episode aired in 2007. This is a couple questions in one, a couple categories in one. So, like, what was outdated about this episode, and or how would it be different in 2019?
Well, how was it outdated? The two things that came to mind was the Stephon Marbury jersey. that E had framed when Sloan was unpacking his bags. Like, I don't think anyone has a Stephon Marbury jersey hang. I'm from New York. I'm a huge Knicks fan, even though they suck. But I don't think anyone's putting Stephon on the wall. You're putting Patrick Ewing. You're putting John Starks. Maybe some people still have Kristaps Porzingis, but fuck him. And then the other one that I thought was outdated was Drama deciding he's going to spend $1,000 a month on rent. And he's on a fucking TV show, like
a network show too.
He's on a network CBS show, and he's spending $1,000 a month, and he's looking for a 2-bedroom.
Yeah,
I live in a 1-bedroom by myself, and I pay more than $1,000 a month in rent. That's impossible to find in LA now.
Yeah. Originally, he's looking at an $800 a month studio. That first shithole that he looks at with Turtle
in West Hollywood, and then he looks at the $1,000 one after he sees the condo, and that's a 2-bedroom. It's walking distance to all the nice shops. It's got a fucking balcony. If you can see it, there's a porch right when you walk in, right off the living room. That is insane.
He's like, I hate it.
$3,000 a month apartment, easy. And he's like, fuck this place.
Oh man, these are all California real estate jokes, but the 2-bedroom condo with the Viking kitchen is only $1.4 million. I live in a 1-bedroom, 1-bath in San Francisco. The unit above me is just sold for $1.1 million. So just add another bedroom, and apparently it's only a couple $100,000 more.
Yeah, and it's all redone by the latest Iron Chef contestant. Jesus. Fuck you, and all the natural light and views. That thing's a $5 million apartment.
100%. That's fucking time, though. That's inflation. That's real estate. That's an easy one. So I want to talk, how would the actual plot be different? I'm going to start off. So if they can't get the money for this movie, in 2019, Vinny Chase, crowdsources this movie, right?
A Kickstarter?
Yeah, Kickstarter tries to get, a bunch of, Spanish investors or something, appeal to his Spanish fan base. They want to see the Pablo Escobar movie starring Vinny Chase.
Well, the other thing how it would be different is he's the biggest movie star in the world. He just made a movie that made the most money ever. Everyone's coming to the table with him. Everybody. I don't think it would be very difficult for them to raise $30 million or $65 million.
Yeah.
Films nowadays, the Avengers films are made for $180 million, $250 million.
But that's not Median. That's not, this R-rated Spanish-speaking. By the way, that's another thing I wanted to point out. The mic drop of, oh my God, he wants to shoot this whole thing in Spanish. Yeah, of course he wants to shoot it in Spanish. It's takes place in Colombia and stars people who speak Spanish. People would be kind of weirded out in 2019 if it was just all English-speaking actors in Colombia.
By the way, Billy Walsh is he is so ahead of his time. He's a prophet. They made Narcos. Netflix made the Pablo Escobar story, and it was all in Spanish. Billy Walsh had that original idea. I wonder if Netflix watched this episode and were like, oh, fuck, that's exactly what we need to do.
Well, Entourage predicted a lot. We've talked about that before. Aquaman, the Ferrari movie, dude, the whole thing. Hollywood has been shaped by Doug Ellen and the writing staff.
I wonder if they get pieces of that. If they get some back-end action for inspiring all these different stories.
I doubt it. Every week, Billy, I do a Faces in the Crowd award, just kind of pointing out someone who shows up in the episode. Maybe you've seen him or her before. Do you want the porn star or the realtor? Okay.
I had this question. The realtor. Is she the overweight friend of when Johnny and Turtle are in
of Lisa Rinna, famous? She's a housewife of Beverly Hills. I only know
I fucking knew it, man. I knew it when I saw her walk in. I was like, oh my God, that's the girl that gives the best rim jobs, west of the Mississippi.
Yeah, her name's Colleen Camp. They liked her so much they brought her back for the role of Turtle, Drama's old fling's friend.
Wow, they should have mentioned that in the show. They should have just tipped a cap to it. Wait, didn't we meet you before in a hot tub?
Yeah, that's weird. Hey, didn't
we meet you last season?
Well, the hot tub episode, hot tub episode's in a couple seasons, so it'd be in a couple seasons them going, "Didn't you show us an apartment once?" That was
then they should have done that. They should have tipped a cap to that. We've definitely met. You showed me a 2-bedroom that was wildly underpriced.
This is a unit right here. It's so spacious and lovely.
I'm sure it is.
Huh. That's not bad.
Eat-in kitchen, 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, walking distance from all the major shops.
What do you think?
I hate it.
Drama, come on. This is a nice place in a nice area, and it's not that expensive, all right? What's the problem?
The problem is, I want that condo.
Do you want to know something wild? Her IMDb goes back to 1973. She's had 3 credited roles to her name per year since then. Dude, she's got over 150 credits.
So, by the way, you should have her on the podcast because she's a working actor.
Yeah, I should.
She is. That's a grinder.
Yeah, just doing it, man.
And never quitting. You got to respect that because they're small roles.
She was in Die Hard with a Vengeance, Wayne's World, Clue. Dude, she's got a fucking filmography. These are all really small parts, but like, it's paying the bills.
She's a chameleon.
Yeah,
she's a fucking chameleon. She can play a real estate agent. She can play a kind of slutty MILF.
Yep.
She can play a Die Hard victim. I mean, come on.
It's beautiful.
Give her the respect she deserves.
Put some respect
this woman
on
is a
Colleen Camp's name. Colleen
Camp. Fucking hell yeah. I hope I meet her one day. She's a working actress.
Fantastic. Every week we give a Sixth Man Award. Someone comes off the bench, just, makes use of their minutes. What do you think? Is it Billy Walsh or is it Shauna?
Oh, I mean, I think Billy steals the scene every time he's in it.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's making pornos is absolutely phenomenal.
You got no idea what my fucking alley is.
Yeah. Suit, you got no fucking idea what my alley is. Shauna's incredible, especially when she drops off her daughter to the nanny. I always love to think about like that actress, like who's playing the nanny. She's so excited. She's gonna be on Entourage, and all she gets is Shauna being like no fucking sugar for her. She's like she needs. I don't want to be up all fucking night, and the girl just smiles and nods, and then she moves on.
Yeah,
it's just so great.
She thought I'm gonna be like one of Vince's girlfriends. Nope.
Yeah, she's like, fuck. I'm in Entourage. Like this is gonna be my break, and it's just like, nah, you're just gonna get cursed at.
So what's up?
I'm trying to find out if you're actually renting an $800 a month studio.
It's a loft. How'd you know?
Because Us Weekly just called. Apparently, your new landlord likes to talk.
Sweet. What, do they want to do a photo shoot over there?
No one's photographing anything, Drama. I told him it wasn't true.
Why?
Because Vincent Chase's brother cannot be living like a transient crack whore. Not while Vince doesn't have a job. Now you're on a network fucking show. Wake up, get a life, and get a place with at least 2 toilets. If not for you, for Vince, so that this town doesn't get the impression that he sold his house because he's broke, even if he is. Will you do that for Vince, Drama?
Yeah, of course I would.
Great. There's an apartment at 8812 Burton Way I just looked at with a client. It'd be perfect for you. Great area, reasonably priced.
What's reasonable?
Goodbye, Drama. Make sure she doesn't take a nap. I don't want to be up all fucking night, all right?
But I think the 6th man has to go to Nicky Rubenstein.
That's actually true. He's good.
Bro, he's incredible in it. When he's in Ari's office and he's going on and on about how, he always looks at me like I'm a prick. And then he says, he has the great line with the girl he's dating. He goes, fuck it. I have so much money now I could just sit back and fuck models for the rest of my life. And she goes, I'm actually a singer. And he goes, I was just proving a point.
Yeah.
He's so funny in it. And I love that actor. He's great in a lot of stuff.
Dude, we talked about him a couple episodes ago when he first showed up, but like his filmography, it's not huge, but the movies he's in are like some of the top 50 movies of all time. Saving Private Ryan, Dazed and Confused, Zodiac, like fantastic. Adam Goldberg is incredible.
He's incredible. He's been and he's always a great character actor. He plays I guess he's not really a character actor. He kind of plays the same type of character every time, but he adds little pieces to it, and he really brings it to life. And when he writes the check at the end, he just says, fuck it.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck it. Fine. It's $5 million, right? That is a lot of fucking zeros. All right. I gotta go to Genghis Khan. My girl's singing there. I'm gonna need this.
All right.
You'll need this. Have fun.
He plays that I don't give a fuck about money kind of douchebag, but like just filled with so much stress and Jewish guilt. It's just like, he's just like, fuck it. I love him.
So neurotic. And speaking of neurotic, speaking of character actors, what was your favorite Johnny Drama moment from this week's episode?
It has to be when he decides to buy the condo and he says, fuck it. We premiered in front of 16 million the first week. We're going to be the next Seinfeld.
Sir, I woke up this morning with a budget mapped out in my head of $1,000 a month. Obviously, I have stepped up considerably. But there are limits, and we have reached mine.
Sorry to hear that. All right, let's roll.
1.2.
There is no negotiating.
1.3.
Drama. Excuse me one moment. Yeah.
You're the worst negotiator I've ever seen.
I'm just working them in, Tom.
You figured out your finances. You came up with 1.1, all right, which is already a huge stretch. Now you're offering 1.3? You're not working anybody. Come on, get it under control.
You're right.
Here he comes.
I'm afraid that was another offer at full listing.
He's bluffing.
Am I?
Thank you, sir. I appreciate your time.
I do yours as well.
1.5.
Done.
Fuck it. 16 million viewers our first week. We're gonna be the next Seinfeld. All right, where do I sign?
I got you set up right here.
But Seinfeld was doing 50 to 75 million viewers per week, like every episode. And he did 16 million in his first episode. He's like, we're the next Seinfeld. We're going to be fucking massive. I love that line. It's so funny.
We're an NBC like noir drama. It's like it's not going to go anywhere. It'll go somewhere, but like it's not going to be like a takeoff type show.
Well, we're a daytime television show. Like we're the next Seinfeld. It's just such a great line, and such a great way for him to convince himself to get the apartment. And then the next scene is him just drinking with Turtle. Like, I did it again. I overextended myself. Fuck. It's just so good.
Yeah, my favorite moment was the proposition for sex, Viking Quest Convention, Orlando, 99. You already covered that. Every week we talked about who won the episode. So Vince can't win. He wins every episode as the A-list movie star. Who won this week's episode?
I think it has to be Turtle.
Really?
Dude, Turtle got himself a new condo and he's back on Vinny's payroll. You tell me who had a better day. And he didn't do shit.
Yeah, that's actually true. Turtle could win every week.
Bro, he spent the episode driving Johnny around looking for apartments. Then his friend overextends himself and buys a $1.5 million apartment, which he'll be able to chill at. They share a dog. He'll be there all the fucking time, right? He'll have half of his shit there. It's a 2-bedroom.
Yeah.
And on top of that, Vinny's making himself $5 million for this next Medellin movie. I mean, fuck. That's a good deal.
The argument could be made that Turtle should win every week because especially in these early seasons when he's doing jack all shit. Like
he's doing nothing.
I know. He got to eat a free lunch, no appies though. I mean, like, he gets everything handed to him.
He got. They said there's no such thing as a free lunch. He got the free lunch. He took care of that.
That's true.
And he just dominated. You know what I mean? Like he's just chilling.
I guess I would give a runner-up nomination for E, only because he like convinces the money guy, recommends Billy Walsh. He kind of puts it all together. You know, he's like producing his first movie. Obviously, this whole thing goes down in flames, so like it's not really like they won, but this is probably the most hands-on E is, and really the last gasp of like the good Eric plot lines. I don't know what you think about that, but like
he's a good answer. I mean, there's a lot of different answers. You could argue Billy Walsh. I mean, fuck it, he just got pulled out of porn. Now he's going to be directing he was signed on for 25 porn films. Now he's directing Medellin with the biggest movie star in the world, and on top of that, he somehow negotiated Final fucking cut. And he's at a strip club at the end of the thing. He went from shooting porn all day to getting a $30 million movie and getting Final Cut to hitting the strip joint and being like, fuck it, I don't have to answer to anybody now. I mean, that's a pretty good deal.
By the way, who are these lawyers banging out these contracts in like 6 hours or whatever it is? That's incredible.
Yeah. These guys don't sleep. They're these entertainment law. They never. By the way, there's another argument to be made. Who had the best episode? You could argue the porn star that read her scene with Vinny Chase had a pretty solid episode.
I never did 2 guys before.
Oh, there's a first time for everything, right?
I guess.
Awesome.
Yeah?
I bought it.
Sweet.
Want to run it again?
Yeah.
Okay.
That porn star, Monique Alexander, is still working to this day. I know all this
information. And by the way, how about that? She was in an Entourage episode, just the actress herself. She was in an Entourage episode, and then her character got to read with the biggest movie star in the world, which many actors would kill for.
Sure.
Get to do a scene read. And then she goes on and works, gets paid. That's a pretty good day at the office.
She was inducted into the AVN Hall of Fame in 2017.
She's a Hall of Famer.
She's a Hall of Fame porn star. I gotta tell you. I mean, good for Monique.
What do you think her stepdad has to say about that?
He's like watching Entourage. He's like, God damn it, I can't even watch Entourage.
I mean, I'm so curious about this. She's a Hall of Famer. I mean, she put her mind to something and took care of it. You know what I mean? You got to respect that.
He can tell people my kid's in the Hall of Fame.
She's a Hall of Famer. I mean, fuck, that's awesome.
All right, Billy, last couple questions. Was this an A-list episode, a B-list episode, or a D-list episode?
You guys just skip C-list, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I think if we include C-list, and there's going to be too many like B, C answers. It was either great, okay, or terrible.
I think it was B.
Yeah?
I would say it's a B. I mean, it's all pretty logistical, but there's some great moments with the characters. Anytime you have a Johnny drama kind of driven plot, which is this episode's dominated by drama, you're going to laugh the whole time. So I thought it was really funny. But all they really do is get the money for Medellin. I mean, that's really all that happens in the grand scheme of things. And I mean, you get to see a lot of nudity, which is always fun. You know, you love to see that when HBO, they do the home box office, and then they hit you with those letters,
the N.
And you see the N pop up, and everybody. I remember when I was in high school and I was watching the show, that N popped up. You're like, let's go. This is going to be a good episode. Let's fucking go.
And there's the difference. It would either say mild nudity or graphic nudity, and you were hoping for that graphic nudity.
Yeah. You were like, you'd see the N, and then you'd be like, okay, come on now, write graphic. Come on now, don't fuck with us.
I'm doing A- episode only because, and this is a longevity
Bro,
thing.
you told me it could be an A, a B, or a D, and then you throw A-. Go fuck you.
I thought you would listen to this podcast. We do A-, B+. I should probably like prompt that. Like, oh, by the way, you can do pluses and minuses.
Yeah, you should definitely prompt that, dude. I would have given it a B+. Fuck.
Don't worry, as you know, the power of editing, but I'm still not going to edit it out. A-, yeah, only because last week's episode was terrible. I had a great guest on. Me and him kind of had fun with it, but last week's episode is the Prince's Bride, where Drama's trying to get on a Rush Hour 3.
Yeah.
And he's kind of an asshole the whole time, and it doesn't really work as an episode, so this was nice to end the season on like an upswing.
And it's got Brett Ratner in it, which is always,
yes.
That's tough TV now.
It's tough TV now. And I don't know, at the time, I'm trying to think back, 2007, you didn't know where the show was going, and you'd heard about Medellin nonstop for fucking 2 years. So they finally were going to make Medellin that season, and it kind of pumped you up. It ended on a high note. I'm giving it an A-.
Yeah, I'll give you an A-. I just feel bad. Like, remember when Medellin came up in the show and they had Paul Haggis directing it, and it was like, damn, this is gonna be a really good fucking movie. And now they settle with Billy Walsh. Not that Queens Boulevard was a good film, but Paul Haggis is a legend. What are you gonna do?
Absolutely. And like, you don't know it until we're watching this 15 years later, or whatever it is, 12 years later. Like, you're looking at it and you're like, wow, this movie's under budgeted, has like a rookie director, and has a producer who's never produced anything before. Like, the writing's on the wall that this thing's gonna be kind of a disaster, but you hope so hard for these guys to succeed, because as we know, they've struggled so mightily throughout the course.
Yeah, they really had a tough run of it.
Billy, this is a question I asked all my new guests. I'm really looking forward to asking you because you're the closest to certain characters in the show, but who are you in your own real life entourage?
I mean, I wish I was Vinny Chase, but I know that's not true, which is just so sad to admit to myself.
Dude, you were in an Academy Award winning film.
Yeah, but I'm not Vinny. I just don't even have the demeanor of Vinny, and I don't have the looks like Vinny. I don't have what's the singer, the Virgin? What's her name?
Madonna?
No, no. In the show,
Justine Chapin.
Josephine Chapin. When she sees Vinny, she goes, "Wow, you're looking really good too," and like stroking his arm. That never fucking happens to me. I don't get that shit. I'm not in a Mentos commercial and have the biggest agent in Hollywood pull me out and say you're the guy. That's not me. I'm more of a Billy Walsh. I'm the guy celebrating Final Cut at the strip club by myself, telling everyone to go fuck themselves.
I kind of love that.
Yeah, I've always I relate more to Billy Walsh. I'm the guy who with like holding the movie that we just made, like behind a locked door with a gun, telling no one to fucking come in the room. That's more my scene.
Billy, you are Billy. I love it. It's great. No one's ever said they're Billy Walsh before in the entirety of the show, 43 episodes.
What does everyone normally say?
A lot of combinations of E, a lot of dramas. If someone's like, a comedian or, a bit of, I've never had has-beens on the show, but people who may think that their like career has plateaued or something, they'll say drama. One guy said Vince, and
you never interviewed him again.
It was interesting. You know who it was? It was Adam Ray, the comedian, who's like, he's a big shot, and he's like, to my friends back home, I'm Vince because I can get them things. And I was like, all right, that makes sense in that context, but takes a lot of balls to say that you're Vince.
That takes some big brass fucking balls
Yeah.
to sit there and look in the mirror and be like, I'm fucking Vince, dude. I'm Vince. There's so much that comes with Vinny. There's an episode where he goes book shopping and ends up fucking a married woman. That's never happened to me. I mean, that's not real. That's Leo shit. That's Brad Pitt.
Yeah. I think that's what he's supposed to be at this point in the show.
I'm just saying, I know what he's supposed to be. That's just not me.
It's a tad unrealistic, let's be honest. Well, Billy, this was the best way to end season 3, in my opinion. It was a long haul, 20-plus episodes, but this was fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us. Did you have fun?
I had a great time, man. It's always fun to rewatch Entourage, especially for me. You get to start dreaming that that's going to be your life one more time.
Are you gonna keep watching the show from this point on, like from season 4?
It's 9:45 right now. I'm gonna take a shower, crawl into bed, and probably just crush season 4 until I fall asleep.
I fucking love it. Where can the listeners of Oh Yeah follow you, find you, see you, listen to you?
Follow me at 20SomethingComedy, 20SomethingComedy at Instagram, or the Billy Kane. Those are 2 Instagrams. I'm also on Twitter, also at the Billy Kane or 20SomethingComedy, and that's how you can find me. That's where I am.
Dude, you're on a show coming out.
Oh yeah, fuck it. I got a few things coming out. I got a movie with Fred Armisen coming out called Too Late. It's a comedy where I get eaten by I guess that's a spoiler alert, so I won't finish that thought. But that comes out in like 6 months. Comic-Con in this summer, Comic-Con in June. The Netflix show The Liberator comes out starring Billy Breed, which is always a good time.
Yeah.
And I got an independent film, if you're going to be at the independent film festivals, coming out called Into the Honeycomb. So if you're at Sundance, we'll be there. Probably not on the phone with Jimmy Cameron talking about Aquaman, but we'll be there. So yeah, man, give me a follow, give me a shout. Also, my cell phone number is 203. I'm kidding.
Dude, this has been a blast. Let's connect next time I'm in LA. Let's do this in person for another episode later down the line.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man. Just let me know. That'd be terrific.
Have a great rest of your week, and I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, you too.